Right. Hello, everyone. Today lab it's gonna be about wye-wye connection. Also, I received a couple of email about the previous lab, which is delta-delta connection. So I'm gonna explain both. The requirement is basically the same, but the connection is different. So I'm gonna go over both of them today, and the lab the report, I'm going to extend the report for more 2 days so you can get a clear idea on what is required. Also, I'm going to go over the connection in case you're having difficulty on connecting this. Now, for the, I'm going to start with a Y connection. So the requirement is basically to record the input voltage, the primary voltage, and the current as well, and record the output voltage and the current for the transformer. Now, the measurement for the output transformer will be used to verify your calculation. So you're going to measure the input and calculate, you're going to measure the phase, the line voltage, and then convert it to phase voltage, multiplied by a turn ratio, and so on until you get to the measured value, which is the last point, which is the line voltage for the secondary side. That's how you can tell if your calculation is correct or not. This is what I meant by those. Compare the current and the voltage and the power. Now, we know the power is whatever is coming in is the same as out if it's ideal transformer. If there is losses, we're gonna assume it's kind of like the value should be close enough. For the delta delta connection, which is lab 9, you're gonna connect the primary as a delta connection. You're gonna configure the secondary as a delta connection, and then you're gonna configure the load as a delta connection, and then you can connect all of them together. This is for the delta delta connection, lab 9. For lab 10, you're gonna do basically the same thing, but in Y connection. So you're gonna configure the primary as a Y connection, and then configure the secondary as a Y connection. This is what I would do usually: configure the primary as a Y connection or delta connection, and then the secondary as a Y connection, and then configure the load as a Y connection, and then connect all of them together. This is what I would do. Now, regarding this is, and then answer the same question. The only difference between Y and connection, there is the last point, which is measuring the current going to the neutral. In the case of balanced load, what would be the current going to the neutral, and why is that? Like if you explain that in the last point. Other than that, it's going to be the same for the Y connection. I mean the question in terms of questions, not the answer. So I'm going to go over the delta first. I'm going to connect, as you can see here, the delta. Before I go ahead and connect it, if you double click on this, it's going to give you the voltage for the primary and the current for the primary, which is those things. And this is what you see. Also, if you double click, you have to choose what, like phase to phase or phase to neutral. Usually we go phase to phase in this lab. If you want a neutral, just pay attention to your calculation. For the second one, for the secondary as well, this is 2 mean primary and 1 mean, 2 mean secondary and 1 mean primary. So what you're required to do is to, first what I would do, I would connect, configure the transformer as a delta. So I connect this here like this. This is how we would do it. Now I configured the secondary as a delta connection. Now, I mean the primary, sorry. Then the secondary as well, I'm gonna do the same thing. Now it's configured as a delta connection for both. Now I'm gonna go ahead and configure the load as well. Now it's a delta connection for both the transformer on both sides, primary and secondary, as well as the load. Now I'm gonna go ahead and connect it. I'm gonna connect this here. Grab it and put it here. So I'm not, to not confuse myself, I'm gonna go to the plus sign in here. This is the plus sign, so I'm gonna take one point and connect it to the plus sign, as well as in here to the plus. Now the primary is connected to the source, everything is okay. I'm gonna go to the secondary. The same thing, I'm gonna look to the plus sign, trying not to confuse myself as well here. Now I'm gonna connect to the load. This is how you do. Now, how do you connect the voltage? It depends on what you want to measure. If you want to measure the voltage between, this is A, B, and C, as you can see here. So you're going to measure between A and B, between B and C, sorry. And the current, if you want to measure the current, basically you have to, let's say I'm going to connect it here. Now, if your connection is correct, you have to have the same value as this, because this is giving you the same current. So what I would do, for example, like, is it Dmax, I guess? This is allow me, select bus. Let me see. Dmax. Let's go with Dmax. Scope. Take this in here. So I'm gonna assume A and B and C. I'm measuring the C here. And this is what you're gonna do. So you're basically getting the same value. This is only to verify yourself with this bus in order to verify your connection. But the value should be the same as this, just in case. Okay, this is related to the delta connection. Now I'm gonna delete everything, gonna start again for the wye-wye connection. Take off those. Oops, what did I do? I don't wanna delete the bus. Delete them by mistake. Delete them by mistake. Oh, once again. So what are you gonna do right now? Let me those things as well. So first I'm gonna configure the load, the transformer as not this. I'm gonna look for ground first. So I'm going to configure the transformer, the primary, as a Y connection. This in here. Done for the first configuration, Y connection. Now I'm done with the transformer, primary and secondary. Now I'm going to go ahead and configure the load. Now I'm good. Everything is connected. Now I'm going to connect all of them together. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect this here. The same thing for the first, for the primary, for the secondary. This is how you do it. Voltage measure. Now this is giving you the voltage, the voltage, the phase voltage, face-to-face voltage. Maybe you need to measure the phase ground voltage, like between the line and the ground, or between phase and phase, and that should be the same as this. So yeah, so you're gonna do this, and the same thing, the measurement here will be used to verify your answer. So you're gonna measure here the input voltage. We know the input voltage is 120. So you're gonna convert to the phase. You have the line voltage converted to phase voltage, and then to the primary side, and then up to toward the end, and then use the measured value and verify your answer or your calculation. And this is basically what you need to do for lab 9 and 10, lab 9 delta delta connection and lab 10 wye-wye connection. Thank you.